Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and while I thought the Xbox Game Showcase was quite good, seems like there's quite a bit of pushback as far as Starfield is concerned, and I think what Starfield is doing is going to be an extension of what you see Microsoft do with a lot of their games. I don't know who's making specific decisions like this, but what you're seeing out of Starfield is actually something that's been going on as far as not just Microsoft gaming in general, but I think with Microsoft and Game Pass being a thing, it is putting them in a position where they have to do things like this. Maybe they shouldn't do it this egregiously, but we'll talk about it. So I'm gonna take a Reddit thread. I know that, that's not the best source, but it's essentially, you guys can click the link, and it's people bugging out over Starfield having a $7 quest. So there's an update that just dropped on Starfield, coinciding with the game showcase. I believe the first part of the update is free, and then if you want the second part, you gotta pay $7 for a quest. That's all it is, and $7 for a quest. That is the big thing people are bugging out about, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. People should absolutely bug out about a quest being $7, especially because, Starfield isn't the greatest game in the world. Let's just keep it at that in terms of how this game was received. And now, what you're essentially doing is you're asking people to pay for mods, and that's the content like this in the past has been free. Other publishers, other developers have rolled out content updates like this for free, and $7 for what is essentially a single quest is actually insane. $7 isn't as much as, let's say, a game getting an expansion, but while this was 8 years ago, inflation is a thing. Witcher 3's Hearts of Stone expansion DLC was $10. Blood and Wine was $20. Was Hearts of Stone 15? No, I'm pretty sure it was 10. I'm pretty sure it was 10. And let's be honest, Hearts of Stone gave you way more than just a single quest. Blood and Wine certainly gave you a lot more. And, if you look at Starfield, they are going to be releasing an expansion called Shattered Space. Now, what is Shattered Space going to be? In terms of price point, I don't know, but I would imagine it's going to be 20 to 30 bucks, and it's going to be something that it's going to include orders of magnitude more than one quest. Is it just going to include 3 quests if it's $20? That would be, second grade level math coming in. But this is something that I think you're going to see with Microsoft games a lot, because Game Pass, while it is an incredible value service, what happens is when you drop games that are hundreds of millions of dollars to develop for, you have to extend its monetization period and how you monetize the game outside of it just being baked into a subscription service. That's end of story. Call of Duty, I don't know if they're doing the early access gimmick. Based on what I'm seeing, they might not be doing the early access gimmick, but that's a game that's coming day one to Game Pass. But people gotta realize that's a service within a game. Yes, you play the game, but they are banking on you coming back and spending money on top of you playing the game. Even with single-player games like a Starfield, they're banking on you coming back and spending more money into the game. That's why they did the early access gimmick for Starfield, to incentivize people to buy the deluxe edition upgrade, because they need to extend the monetization life. Other publishers are doing it. Ubisoft very much is doing it, but with Game Pass being such a core business and it eliminating literal sales for a game, you have to figure out other ways to monetize these games and make money off of it, and that's what you're doing. Now, this is absolutely egregious, $7 for a quest, but I do think they're gonna be looking at more and more things to monetize these games. Gears of War E-Day, when that eventually comes out, you think that ain't gonna be monetized? Oh, you damn right it's gonna be monetized. They're gonna figure out a way to monetize these games, and that's why so many games from Microsoft are baking in early access, and it makes sense. From their lens, they could be like, oh, you got to play this game day one, because they're gonna, all this stuff, it's just marketing. They're saying you get to play big games, first-party titles, day one, but at the same time, they're like, buy the deluxe edition and you can get early access. So they're using play games day one as a marketing vehicle. They're using early access as a marketing vehicle as well for you to play these games on their real release dates. You guys get what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of nonsense. What they are doing is they're figuring out how to monetize these games further, and they're in a position where they they almost have to, because Game Pass has a ceiling. That's just the reality of a subscription service, and every subscription service since the dawn of time, I get it that subscription services have only been around for like 20 years, but you get the idea in terms of, you know, the style of subscription services. You could say cable is a subscription service, but you get the idea. Since the dawn of time, every subscription service will hit a ceiling. After that, what happens? Oh, either you up the price point of the subscription service because eventually these services gotta be profitable, or you have to cut value from the subscription service. I wouldn't say that Microsoft has cut value yet, but really, most of the times what happens is the price goes up and the value proposition goes down. What they do initially is they'll keep the price incredibly compelling and the value proposition is exceedingly high because they are ready to take that upfront L. Microsoft, I very much expect them to ultimately release up the price of Game Pass later this year. I think that is something they're gonna do, especially with the addition of Call of Duty. You're gonna mitigate people bugging out over the price increase because you can be like, hey, we're giving you value with Call of Duty. And then they're gonna try to monetize those games even further, and that's what they're doing with Starfield. That's what they've very much done with Forza Horizon, and that's what they do with a lot of other games. I was surprised that Hellblade 2, in all honesty, didn't have some early access deluxe edition, but for a walking sim like that, or a perceived walking sim, doing like a $70 deluxe edition, it just would have been a bad look. It would have been a really, really bad look, so I get why they didn't do it, but for a game like Starfield, they're absolutely gonna do that. You think they're not gonna do that with Doom the Dark Ages? Oh, they're absolutely gonna do that with Doom the Dark Ages. They're gonna do gimmicks to monetize these games beyond Game Pass. Game Pass will give you... Game Pass is still an incredible value, don't get me wrong, but what it does is it's going to force these publishers, especially ones that are owned by Microsoft, they are determined to get more money out of you because they need to make more money. These games are still as expensive, and Game Pass is hitting that ceiling where they're going to continue to add value to it, and from a third-party standpoint, yo, they're just getting paid a lump sum by Microsoft. They don't have to care, but for the first-party Microsoft titles, they have to look at the game, they have to look in-house and be like, okay, how do we get the most value out of these releases outside of it just jolting up Game Pass subscriptions? Because how much did a Hellblade 2 jolt up Game Pass subscriptions? I don't know, but I can't imagine it was a lot. That's why they're also releasing these games on PlayStation, to extend these monetization periods. And Starfield, same thing. They're just trying to monetize these games further, and I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's going to be a byproduct of subscription services, and it's different where, like, a Netflix, like, what are you gonna do within Netflix? You're gonna charge, like, more content or DLC content for The Witcher television? You can't really do that for television, although you can piecemeal out content. Like, this is kind of similar. AMC will sell Walking Dead to Netflix. I'm pretty sure that's on there, but if you want to watch the new series, you gotta go on AMC's own subscription services, so they're figuring out a way to extend the monetization cycle of a Walking Dead. Well, with a video game, it's a little bit different because you can do DLC content, you can do microtransactions. You can't microtransaction a television show, at least I don't think you can. They haven't figured that one out yet. Bro, could you imagine them starting to do that? That would be insane. Please don't do that. Please do not do that. You know, Netflix must have at least thought about it. Yo, maybe we can up the price point. Yo, could you imagine Netflix upping the price point for, like, early access to Witcher whatever season 3 days early? Bro, I would be sick. I guess you really can't do that either with a television show because that's just gonna get leaked online, and then, you know, I don't know. You're just you're walking a slippery slope as far as early access on television shows go in Netflix. Please don't do that, Netflix. That sounds like a horrible idea, but yeah, now I'm just like getting wild with it. But yeah, this is something that I feel like is just gonna happen. It's trash, don't get me wrong. They need to drop the price of this, but yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Interested to hear your guys' input, but I think this is a byproduct, and it's not just Game Pass. Obviously, other publishers are doing it. There's been egregious microtransactions practices forever, but I do think Game Pass is going to incentivize first-party publishers for sure to do more gimmicks like this. But that'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.